What is up, you guys? It is currently 3:35 in the morning, and I am awake as I have been the last couple of weeks of my life. I don't know if it's insomnia that I'm dealing with, or depression, or the unrestlessness of the many things that are now coming into my life as answers to problems that I've been dealing with mentally and emotionally and spiritually for the last 30 years of my life. I don't know if you guys have watched my videos this past year, but I've been talking a lot about how I've been feeling like I'm evolving and how I feel like I am going through a transitional period in my life. Now, more than ever, I am feeling it. And it's the calmest yet most intense that I've felt in the longest time. And I don't know what it means completely. I just know that for the first time in a long time, I am truly content for the most part with where I am in life. I used to be the kind of person that dreaded being alone, which is why growing up in my late teens and my early 20s, I spent most of my early 20s jumping from relationship to relationship. And then at the end of my 20s, my late 20s, I spent those 5 years jumping from guy to hookup to one night stand to feel something. And same for my friends, I always kept relationships with people that were toxic or didn't serve me or didn't bring me the joy or the happiness or the spiritual fulfillment that I needed, because I didn't want to be alone. Because if I didn't have a boyfriend or I didn't have a hookup or a fuck buddy, at least I had my friends. At least I had people to go out with to distract myself from facing how scary I thought it would be to be fully and completely alone with no friends, no boyfriends, no hookups, and even family members. But the last 2 years of this pandemic have really shown me that I am fine being alone and that I don't need to feel lonely, because I don't have those toxic people in my life anymore, or those people that didn't bring me joy or spiritual growth or growth in a human form. The last 6 months specifically have been really life-changing in a way. And I'm still trying to gather my thoughts around the whole situation, because in the last 6 months, last year to the last 6 months of my life, I have willingly let go of pretty much everybody in my life for one reason or another. A little over a year ago, a year and a half ago, I stopped talking to my cousin Lauren. If you guys didn't see the video that I did about her, she basically tried to blame me for bringing COVID into her apartment when her cousin was the last person with COVID to be in the apartment weeks after I had come to Phoenix for the holidays. And we just got into an argument about it, and she never apologized. And I started wanting people to take accountability for the shit that they did. Even if it was a mistake, even if it was an honest mistake, I want people to take accountability for hurting me, for blaming me for things that were not my fault, for I just wanted people to take accountability. And most of the people in my life are the type of people that don't take accountability. And I'm always the first to apologize to somebody. I've always been the type of person that was the first to apologize, even when I didn't do anything wrong. Just because I didn't want to lose that friendship or that relationship or that family member, but not realizing that internally I would end up resenting them because there was no change. I was always the one to say sorry when something that they did hurt me. And it made them think that it was okay to keep on treating me the way they were treating me, because I would always apologize for it. And I would always turn the other turn the other way, turn the other foot, whatever that phrase is. And when my cousin did that to me, my cousin she was my best friend. She was like my sister. We've had like a best friend sibling relationship since I was like 6 months old. Like we've been closer than anybody you could think of. And basically after 30 years, she couldn't even apologize for how shitty she acted toward me. That's kind of where it snowballed, and it made me think like, man, people really don't mean shit, you know? Family doesn't mean shit. Friends who don't take accountability mean shit. Men don't mean shit. And over the course of the last 2 years, I've been kind of on this road where like my road is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I keep evaluating the friendships that I've made over the last couple of years, certain family members that no longer serve good growth in my life. And I have cut a lot of people out of my life, more specifically, the last 3 to 4 months. And I was actually just looking through my phone and going through all my contacts, and I literally have 5 people in my contacts on my phone. I have my mom, my dad, my little brother, Christian, my friend Jack, and Progressive accident auto detection phone number for if I ever get into a car accident, I can call them. And that's literally the only people that I have on my phone. I have erased everybody from my phone, you know? I think that a lot of times our phone book is a constant reminder of the people who are no longer a part of your life, or people that you feel that you are growing apart from. And I am the type of person that hates having acquaintances, you know? I feel like acquaintances are just an excuse for people to not feel alone. Like I would just hit up an acquaintance and text them just to talk because I felt alone. Or we will go out to the club because I felt alone. And at this stage in my life, I would rather be alone than have acquaintances, than have meaningless people in my life who don't challenge me, who don't have the best interest for me at heart, because I have always been the type of person that has always been a cheerleader for everybody else. I go above and beyond for my friends, you know, for the people that I call my true friends, my family, my partners, people who are important in my life that I love. I have always gone above and beyond for them. And lately, I have started to realize, well, I mean, not lately, I've realized this for a long time, but I'm finally taking a stand in the fact that nobody has ever gone as hard for me as I have gone for them. And I think that's partly why I've been single for so long, and I'd rather just have fuck buddies and sex and not develop a relationship with someone, is because I've realized that, like, nobody has gone as hard for me as I do for them. And in a lot of ways, especially in relationships, as I found out through the last 10 years of my life, like, even relationships aren't really sacred anymore in regards to like romantic relationships, boyfriend and boyfriend, partners, husbands, wives, things like that. They're not really something sacred anymore. And it makes me wonder, like, you know, how can I fully trust people again when my own friends, my own family, well, my own friends, my own family, you know, people in my life that I would go above and beyond for wouldn't do it for me? How can I expect a relationship to solve that problem? How can I expect a man to be my own cheerleader, be my cheerleader, or a friend to be my cheerleader? I started, I stopped giving people my energy, and I started giving that energy back to myself. And it has been one of the craziest, intense experience of my life. I've been taking back my power, which I never understood that phrase. You know, I've always heard people say, I'm taking back my power, I'm taking back my strength, I'm taking back me. And I never really understood it. I understood it to a certain degree, but I've never understood it more than I do now. I have started to invest in myself and my own happiness, and I'm setting boundaries with my own family. You know, I don't allow access to myself as easily as I did. And there's something beautiful about having boundaries. You know, I've never been one to have boundaries. I've always done whatever anybody needed me to do, and I would do it like that. You know, if a friend called me and was like, hey, I'm sad, I just got broken up with, I need a friend, I'd be like, where are you? I will go drive to you, we'll go get a coffee, we'll talk in my car, cry it out, like, I'm here for you. And in moments of sadness, I realized that no one was there for me. And I've never felt loved or cared about in any in any aspect of my life, really. And if I start crying, well, I'm gonna start crying because, like, realizations, you know, I'm coming to a lot of realizations in my life lately, and they gotta come out. You know, they gotta come out one way or another. And if they're not gonna come out in anger, I would rather them come out in crying and emotional messness. But yeah, I've come to the conclusion that, like, I have never felt the love that I give to people ever, in relationships, in friendships, in family members. I have never felt that love being given back to me. And I was always the one giving love away. And you know what happens when you give and you don't receive? You run out. And after a certain while, after you keep giving love and keep giving stuff away and keep giving emotion and keep giving yourself to people and not getting anything back in return, you run out. And at a certain point, when things start to rebuild again, when that love or that spiritualness or those emotions or that strength starts to slowly come back again, you are very reserved with who you give it to. And I had to set boundaries with a lot of people. I completely ended things with my ex after that last time, I just didn't want anything to do with him anymore. And it wasn't because of him. I mean, he has his own problems. Everybody has their own baggage. Everybody has things that they're fighting with, but it's up to the other person to put a stop to it. You know, if you're not in a situation that is bringing you happiness or bringing you joy or helping you grow, then like get out of it, you know? Like, as much as it hurt for a bit to do that and to end the last relationship that I had in regards to like a friendship slash relationship slash boyfriend, it hurt. It hurt because that was the last bit of contact that I had with somebody where I felt like I could be myself and that I could truly be vulnerable. And that was the last time that I truly felt like that's the last person that I had in my life that I truly felt me with. And now and now I'm figuring out how to be me with just me. And you know, I see a lot of things on Instagram from like family members who will like, and I know it sounds stupid and it sounds kind of like childish, but like I'll see my cousins or like certain family members on Instagram or Facebook be like, oh, happy birthday to this person, I love you so much, happy birthday to my cousin, happy birthday to my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, you're my best friend and I love you. And they'll like post these cute little pictures of them and tag them on Facebook and or on Instagram stories. And I've never got that. I've never gotten that before. And it makes me kind of sad. And it makes me kind of sad because I feel like I give so much of myself away, or did. I gave so much of myself away to people. And even to just be acknowledged, like on your birthday, and have somebody like post a picture of me and them on their Instagram story just to like, you know, say happy birthday to me and tell people, hey, this person is really important to me and I love them and I want them to know, and I want everybody to know that they're special. I've never gotten that before. And it made me realize the kind of people that I've been surrounding myself with. And what really sucked during the last 30 years of my life is that I have always felt alone and lonely when I had everybody around me. You know, if I had my friends, quote unquote friends, my family, my brother, my sister-in-law, cousins, you know, anytime I was around somebody, I always felt alone and lonely. And it wasn't until the last couple of months that I have been okay with feeling alone, like completely alone. Like I have no friends. I have nobody in my life right now. Like I don't talk to anyone in my family besides like my mom and dad and my little brother. Like, and I've never felt the most alone, but I don't feel lonely, which is the craziest part. And I think that is because I am finally content with me as a person. I am finally content with what I've become, you know, the journey that I've been on the last 5 years of my life and being single and fighting, trying so hard to find a relationship. I've finally come to the conclusion that I just need to fully take some time to myself, you know. I've been single the last 5 years, yes, but I've been on Tinder and Bumble, online dating websites up the ass, swiping right on everybody. Ooh, excuse me, air, burps. And nothing's ever come from it. And I think it's crazy. Like, I don't think I'm an ugly fucking looking guy. I don't think I'm a horrible guy. I think I have a lot of love to give. And I think that I'm a very kind person. And I think that anybody would be lucky to have me as their partner because I would go way above and beyond for a partner. And I think that that's the problem. I think the universe wants me to show myself that love first. They want me to choose me first before I offer my time and energy again to a person who's only going to turn around and take and take and take and not give. And I think what's interesting is that the last guy that I was with, I think that was a test that the universe gave me, and I failed horribly because in my head, I thought to myself, like, damn, I've been single for 4 or 5 years. And finally, the universe is giving me somebody who I find attractive, who I can talk to, who we can lay in bed and be lazy and watch YouTube videos and play video games and just enjoy each other's company. I finally found that person. And then a few weeks in, it was just like this roller coaster that just kept going down and down and down and down until it hit rock bottom. And I was like, fuck. This was a test from the universe to see if I was ready to be in a relationship, if I was ready to set boundaries, if I truly love myself. And I proved to the universe by getting in the relationship and ending up sort of heartbroken. I wasn't really heartbroken. It hurt. I was hurt by the whole relationship, but I don't think I was heartbroken because I wasn't really in it all the way. I was definitely putting my feet in and getting ready to like get deeper into the pool, metaphorically speaking, but I wasn't anywhere near in love. But the universe really said, okay, let's see if you are truly about you. And I had been nonstop online dating on these apps for years, and nothing ever came from them because the universe was like, dude, you're not ready. You're not giving yourself the love that you need to give yourself. You're not giving yourself the time to grow. Like, yes, you may not be in a relationship for the last 5 years, but like you're still giving other people what you need to give to yourself. And it wasn't until like a month ago that I really have been practicing that, you know? I have completely taken myself off the market. I am no longer online dating. I am no longer looking for love. I am no longer looking for a relationship. I have completely deleted all of the apps off of my phone. I am not like picturing myself whenever I see somebody on TikTok that I think is attractive. I'm not like picturing our life together like I so often used to. And the first couple of days, it was really hard because I felt like part of me needed that validation that I could get somebody if I was interested, or pass the time while I was bored. You know, Tinder was something that I did to pass the time. I knew I wasn't going to find anybody. The last 5 years, I've been swiping through the same 50 guys, you know, and nothing has come of it. And the universe was just like putting it in my face so hard. They were like, look what you've been doing for the last 5 years. You really think you're going to find somebody now? Take time for yourself. Give the love that you want to give to all these other guys to yourself. Grow from this first. Grow from being completely alone. And it took cutting off toxic friendships. It took cutting off relationships with my cousins and family members who served me no growth. Like the last year, a lot of my own family have really stabbed me in the back. Like they would tell my mom a lot of things. They would like, so I don't know if you guys know. I mean, I'm sure you do. It's on my channel, but like my mom and I briefly stopped talking for about 6 months after she tried to assault me on my birthday. I made a whole video about that. You can go look it up on my channel. And I had blocked her on everything. We lived in the same household. We still do, but I didn't talk to her. And it was like for like 5 months, 5 or 6 months. And then I would hear from other people in my family, as nosy family members do. They would text me and be like, hey, just so you know, my mom talked to your mom and she told her this, and she told her what you posted on Facebook, and told her what you posted on Instagram. and they told her that you're gonna go to San Diego for a concert, and like they would basically be like spies, and they would get intel on me, go through my Facebook, go through my Instagram, go through my Snapchat, and literally tell her everything. And it got to the point where I had to basically block everybody in my family and like go off on everybody in my family and tell them like it is none of your fucking business what I do. I mean, yeah, I'm posting about it, but like it's for your enjoyment and for my enjoyment. It's not for you to go run and tell my mom about what I'm doing. I'm 30 years old. I'm a fucking grown up. If I want to go to San Diego for the weekend for a concert, what's it fucking to you? If I'm going to Colorado with my at the time partner, what's it fucking to you? Why does she need to know? It's like all these fucking adults that are in their 50s and 60s are causing drama when in reality, I'm a fucking 30-year-old who doesn't thrive off the drama. Like I don't need drama in my life. And like the fact that these 50 to 60-year-olds are over here fucking gossiping like Gossip Girl, it just like mind blew me. Like how family could do that to you, you know? And so I ended up blocking everybody in my mom's side. I'm like briefly starting to talk again with like people on my dad's side, and that's a whole nother story. Like I was the black sheep of my family essentially. Like nobody in my dad's side really cared for me. They never really brought me into their circle. I always felt like an outcast, and my mom's side of the family really accepted me and really made me feel like I was loved. And then growing up, the tables kind of turned to where it kind of became this thing of like the reason why they did all these things is because, you know, I looked and look a lot like my mom. And I didn't know this, but growing up, my dad's family had a lot of issues with my mom. My dad's mom, my grandma, had a lot of issues with my mom. And when somebody you hate or somebody you dislike, when they have a kid and that kid looks like that person, you automatically write them off and you automatically don't want to associate yourself with them. And especially because as a child growing up, I was a mama's boy and I would tell her everything because I felt the need to be protected and protective because feeling like the outcast, feeling like the black sheep of the family, I didn't feel like I could be safe and be myself and feel loved and feel like a part of the family with my dad's side of the family. So when I would go back with like back home, the only person who would made me feel secure and made me feel loved was my mom. And so I became kind of like her best friend, her confidant. And as I've gotten older, like I've started to resent her, which is something that is very difficult for me to get over. And I don't know entirely why I feel so angry and so resentful towards her. And it's something that I'm working out, that I'm trying to figure out. Because what's funny is that I feel resentful towards my mom and I feel resentful towards my older brother, but I don't feel resentful towards my dad. And my dad was really never there for us emotionally or physically as kids. He had a job where he like did overnights. So he was asleep in the day and at night he would go to work. And then here in Phoenix, once we came to Phoenix, he had a job that was like really exhausting, really long hours. He worked like 12 to like 15 hours a day, came home tired. He would not go out with us to go eat. He wouldn't go to like our plays or our school events. And so I think that I don't hold any resentment for my dad because he really didn't give me a reason to resent him. I always understood like he wasn't there because he was busy providing for us. You know, growing up, we had everything that we needed and not necessarily everything that we wanted. And I feel like my mom really was super overprotective of me, that I feel like it really stop me from achieving what I feel like I could have achieved at this age. You know, I feel like my little brother is 17 and he has so much freedom to like do stuff in his life. And when I was 16, 17 years old, I couldn't go out. I had to tell my mom exactly where I was going, who I was going to be. She needed addresses, phone numbers. I couldn't go out to parties. I couldn't go out to like events. I couldn't go out with my friends because she was really, really overprotective. And with my little brother, like he got his car at 16, he got his first job at 16, he got his permit at 15 and a half. I wasn't allowed to get a permit till I wasn't allowed to get a license till I was 18. I wasn't allowed to get a job until I was 18. And I think that maybe that's where a lot of my like resentment with my mom comes. And I know that she was trying her best and she was being protective of me, but at the same time, I felt like I never really had a chance to make mistakes as a teenager because my life was always controlled by my mom, you know? I had to tell her where I was at all times. I never lied. I never went to parties. I always respected what my mom wanted. And I think that was a mistake on my part in a way, because as a teenager, all teenagers rebel, they all experiment, they all do drugs, they all get drunk. I didn't get drunk till I was 21, you know? I didn't experiment with drugs. I still haven't experimented with drugs. I smoked my first cigarette when I was like 22. I tried weed for the first time at like 28, 29. Like there's a lot of things that I am barely doing now that I'm an adult that I am like, you know what? I'm 30, I'm 28, I'm 29. Like I can do these things and the consequences will be my own. You know, I don't have to think about anybody, but like part of me wishes that growing up I made those mistakes and I was allowed to grow and learn and allowed to get a job and feel independent and make my own money instead of having to depend on, you know, my parents for like the longest time. I feel like I would be in a different place in my life right now. And I think that's what sucks. I think that's what makes me angry and resentful towards her, is that like I feel stuck. I feel stuck currently in life as far as like where I am at career wise, because I wish that I had, you know, my own place. But one, the world right now is really fucked. The housing market is a fucking mess. But two, I feel like that really stopped me from making the mistakes that I should have made as a teenager and in my early 20s that I am doing now, because I never felt okay making mistakes, because in a way I kind of felt like my mom knew everything, which in a way she kind of did. Um, but yeah, it's a weird thing, honestly. It's a weird thing to think. It's a weird thing whenever you're like evolving spiritually and like really growing up and getting older and realizing how toxic people have been to you and around you, and how unhappy and miserable people are realistically. And I want to surround myself with people who will help me grow spiritually, who will bring joy and happiness into my life and bring positive experiences and help me grow, you know? And the people that I was surrounding myself with were keeping me on the bottom, you know, basically like pushing their hand on my head and keeping me on the floor, you know, like the guy that I was with. Like my ex did a great job of keeping me on the floor, you know. My friends, the people that I called friends, you know, the people that I called my family, my cousins, they didn't care. They didn't really care to really be there. And used me, and I felt used a lot of the times, and it doesn't feel nice to be used. You know, you want to feel like you're needed because they want you there and not because they just need somebody there. And that was my experience with a lot of my friends lately, is that I felt like my friend, one in specific, only ever wanted to hang out with me when all her other friends were busy, you know? And then, like, if I'd say, like, hey, well, since you want to go out, let's go out to the bar this day. And she'd be like, oh, I can't, I'm tired, I have to go to work early tomorrow. And then she'd be out at the bar with her friends. And it's like, why wasn't I invited? I'm only invited when you feel alone and you don't want to be alone. And it's just like, I had to end that. I had to end a lot of friendships and a lot of relationships with family that just didn't help me grow. You know, that stopped my emotional growth, that stopped my spiritual growth, that stunted my physical growth, whatever that means. But yeah, I guess that's kind of the point where I am in life right now, where I'm like alone, but I'm not lonely, if that makes sense. I'm like at a crossroads right now where like I feel great, but I also feel depressed because I'm 30 and like I'm single and I live in my parents' house, and like online dating and just dating people in general is just a fucking exhausting thing to do. There's a lot of qualifications that come when you're online dating or when you're dating in fucking general, and I don't think that anybody wants somebody like me right now, you know? I feel like I gotta get my shit together before I truly go back out into the dating world. And, you know, obviously I'm still gonna have sex. I'm gonna still have my fuck buddies because I can separate emotion from sex and stuff. So I'm gonna keep doing that because I already have like, you know, I already have that on lockdown. So like, we're not gonna change that. But like, I've taken myself off the dating pool market. I've like 2 weeks in now that I feel great about it. Like, I'm not craving wanting to like download the apps again, you know? I'm truly enjoying being by myself, you know? I'm focusing on me, my happiness, and it's weird. It's a weird place to be in, but we're there. We are there. Anyways, guys, that's it for this random video. I know I haven't been vlogging in a while. I actually started vlogging, but I felt disingenuous. Disingenuine. It felt kind of forced. God, excuse me. When I talk a lot, like air gets sucked in and I want to just burp. Um, it felt disingenuine, and I don't know, I felt like I was putting up a front. And I think that making this video and uploading this video would kind of like just lay that ground level foundation of like, hey, this is where I am in life, and this is how it's been the last couple of weeks and the last couple of months and years, and this is just kind of where my headspace is at. And so now, when I make another vlog, I don't know when that will be. I think I'm gonna start vlogging again next month in May, so hopefully like end of May I'll have a vlog. But I'm just kind of taking a break from vlogging right now to just kind of get planted with myself and just really get myself stabilized in a way, you know, kind of gain that ground level stabilization. I feel like I'm calibrating. I feel like I'm like recharging. I feel like I'm really coming into my own. And I feel like social media and vlogging and the internet has ways of fucking with where I want to be, if that makes sense. So yeah, just kind of wanted to update you guys on my life and have a little like real talk. Just have a little real talk because I love having these like vulnerable conversations because one, I really don't have nobody to talk with them. I lost all my friends during the pandemic. I've cut a lot of people out of my life recently and I don't have anybody. And like, it's cool. It's fine. But like, you guys are my only peeps. You guys are the only ones that I can like vent to. I literally have nobody in my life like that I can talk about this and that will like genuinely listen and like be in the moment with me. Like, I don't have anybody right now and it's okay. It is perfectly fine. I'm happy being alone. Oh my god, I have allergies or something. But yeah, I'm gonna go now because I'm watching Russian Doll. It's a really good show. It's a really good show. And I'm almost done with the first season and I'm excited to start the second season. I just started watching it and I've binged it already and I'm excited to keep on watching it. It's 4:15 now, and I might take a shower soon and go get some Dutch Bros. Who needs sleep, right? I don't fucking need sleep. I swear, if y'all didn't know me, you would think that I was like delusional, but I'm not. This is me. This is me unhinged. This is me for reals. Like, I try and like keep it sane on my channel. I try not to show my crazy because I feel like if you were ever to see me by myself, without cameras, without people around me, like this is me. I'm like weird and fucking unhinged and I don't show that side of myself to anybody. Like nobody knows the side of myself. Nobody has seen the side of myself except for probably my cousin Lauren, and she's the only one because when you're with somebody for 30 years, like at some point you got to just let it all out. But this is me in a nutshell. Nuts and unhinged. But yeah, I'm gonna go now because we've been recording for 42 minutes and I'm gonna go shower and I'm gonna go finish watching the first season of Russian Doll and go get some Dutch Bros. And I'm also here with my little doggy Crash. Hi, Crash. He's your little crashy boy. Your little crashy boy. Little baby. I'll see you guys later. Bye.